Nothing quite sparks a sense of pride like seeing how those old American tractors that helped revolutionizing the farming landscape still run today. Today we're going to count down 10 of the most unique American tractors that made history, celebrating these rare machines that left their permanent mark on the 1900s. Get ready for a trip through time as we revisit innovative designs, legendary power, and the stories that made these tractors true icons of American culture. First up, the Waterloo Boy. Number 10, the Waterloo Boy. Yeah, it's impossible to talk about American tractor history without tipping our hat to the Waterloo Boy. Developed by the Waterloo Gasoline Engine Company, this machine first appeared around 1914 in Iowa. By 1916, John Deere saw its groundbreaking potential and acquired the company, effectively securing a place in the tractor market. The Waterloo Boy's main claim to fame lay in its two-cylinder engine, designed to burn kerosene or tractor fuel, which was cheaper and more readily available than gasoline in rural areas of the time. Still, the machine's innovative engineering, it didn't stop there. Built to handle tough Midwestern soil, the Waterloo Boy introduced a heavy dose of reliability for countless small farms. At roughly 25 horsepower, it was no speed demon, but it excelled in sheer pulling power, a crucial asset when you're plowing acres of farmland. Its big steel wheels, though primitive by today's standards, provided much-needed traction and stability in muddy fields. The Waterloo Boy's success paved the way for future John Deere models and cemented the brand's reputation for quality. The design eventually evolved into the famous John Deere Model D in 1923. Yet many folks still remember the original Waterloo Boy with a sense of nostalgia. So whether you just heard stories from your grandfather or stumbled upon a restored version at a tractor show, it stands as an emblem of American resourcefulness. Without this early pioneer, John Deere may never have become the household name that it is today. Number 9, the Fordson Model F. Now, Henry Ford didn't just revolutionize the automobile, he turned agriculture upside down too. The Fordson Model F, produced from 1917 to 28 in the U.S., was the first mass-produced tractor that many American farmers could actually afford. Priced dramatically lower than competitors, it opened the door for smaller operations to transition from horse-drawn implements to mechanized power. The result? Well, a massive surge in efficiency and productivity across rural America. At heart, the Model F was powered by a 4-cylinder engine that could handle both gasoline and kerosene. Its significance isn't just about horsepower figures, which hovered around 20 on the drawbar. It's about how Ford's assembly line methods would bring down costs, making modern farming accessible to the average person. For countless families, the Fordson was more than a piece of machinery. It was a symbol of progress and a chance to step into the future. As production soared, nearly 500,000 Fordsons rolled off the line by the late 20s. The tractor's no-frills design made it relatively easy to maintain, and its smaller size fit the bill for many farms that previously relied on bigger, pricier tractors or the trusty farm horse. With Henry Ford's name behind it, the Model F also became a cultural talking point, reinforcing the idea that machine power should be for everyone, not just the wealthy. Today's surviving Fordsons are a collector's item, fondly remembered for how they shaped America's agricultural boom in the early 20th century. Number 8, the Roomley Oil Pull. If you're a fan of vintage steel and the roar of early internal combustion, you're going to have to check out the Roomley Oil Pull by Advanced Roomley. Debuted around 1910, this tractor series earned its place in history by running on kerosene, often labeled tractor vaporizing oil, a choice that gave farmers more options and cut costs. The Oil Pull nickname wasn't just for show either. These brutes employed an oil-cooled engine that kept operating temperatures more stable than many competitors, extending engine life and boosting reliability in a time when blowing a gasket out in the field could spell disaster. One of the more recognized models was the Roomley Oil Pull Model E, often rated at 30 to 60 horsepower. This was a serious workhorse, aimed at pulling big implements like threshing machines and plows. Due to its hefty size, some weighed in at several tons, it also signaled that farming was shifting toward more robust industrial-scale operations. The tractor's distinctive chug and tall smokestack became like a calling card, heralding the dawn of modern petroleum-powered farm machinery. But beyond its engineering feats, the Oil Pull solidified Advanced Roomley's reputation for building tough, long-lasting equipment. Its presence contributed to the broader acceptance of kerosene-fueled tractors, influencing other manufacturers to adapt their designs. Though the brand eventually merged with Chalmer's, the oil pull remains a legend, especially among tractor collectors and at antique machinery gatherings. It's a loud, proud slice of American ingenuity that reminds us how much the tractor business really evolved in the early 1900s. Number 7, the Farmall Regular. And when International Harvester introduced the Farmall in 1924, they weren't just launching a new tractor, they were launching an entire category, the general purpose row crop tractor. Dubbed the Farmall Regular after newer versions appeared, it was designed to tackle just about any job on the farm, from plowing to planting to cultivating. This versatility was something that horse teams had offered, but the Farmall did it faster, with more power, and eventually at a price that made sense for a broad range of farmers. The Farmall Regular boasted a narrow front end, perfect for weaving through row crops without damaging them. Now, powered by a 4-cylinder engine, it would typically crank out about 13 horsepower on the drawbar. Yeah, it doesn't seem colossal by today's standards, but it was a game changer for row crop farming in the 20s. Its design also allowed for easy attachments of various implements, making it a genuine multitasker on the field. Now, what truly set the Farmall Regular apart was how it influenced the entire tractor industry. Competitors soon scrambled to develop similar row crop designs, fueling a shift away from unwieldy single-purpose machines. By offering a one-size-fits-most solution, International Harvester set the tone for decades of tractor engineering. Culturally, the Farmall line became a staple of the American rural scene. Even today, the sight of that bright red paint job evokes memories of harvest days gone by. Many of these old regulars still pop up at tractor shows, their owners beaming with pride over a machine that helped define row crop farming for generations. Number 6, the Caterpillar 60. Now, few names are more synonymous with tough track-based machinery than Caterpillar. And the Caterpillar 60 stands tall as one of the more iconic crawler tractors. Produced from 1925 to 1931, the 60 was part of the newly formed Caterpillar Tractor Company, itself a merger between the CL Best Tractor Company and the Holt Manufacturing Company. The concept behind the 60 was pretty straightforward. You put a powerful engine on top of tracks that could handle soft or uneven ground far better than the wheel-based designs of the time. The robust machine packed about 60 horsepower, hence the name, and it was prized for its traction on muddy fields, steep slopes, and other tricky terrain. Where wheeled tractors might slip or get stuck, the Caterpillar 60 trudged along with unwavering grit. That reliability was especially important in regions prone to heavy rains or less than ideal conditions. It also found roles beyond agriculture, including road construction and logging, any job that demanded raw pulling power in punishing environments. Now, the 60 didn't just impact farming, it helped popularize the concept of the crawler tractor for all sorts of industries. Farmers began to see the value in a tractor that could keep working through adversity, while construction companies adopted similar designs for projects that required serious muscle. Caterpillar, as we know, never looked back. And today, the brand is a global powerhouse. And the 60, well, it remains a beloved piece of Caterpillar lore. At antique tractor meets, enthusiasts will flock to any demonstration where one of these behemoths will fire up its engine, bridging the gap between the early 1900s and the modern mechanical world. Number 5, the Minneapolis Molen UDLX Comfort Tractor. You ever wonder where the concept of a luxury tractor came from? Well, look no further than the Minneapolis Molen UDLX Comfort Tractor, introduced in 1938. Sporting a fully enclosed cab, a heater, automotive-style seating, and even a speedometer, the UDLX was a radical departure from the open-air, bare-bones designs that were common in that era. Its name hinted at exactly what it promised: comfort. And while luxury might be a stretch by modern standards, for the 30s, a heated cabin and padded seat were downright extravagant. Under the hood, this distinctive tractor ran on a 4-cylinder engine that offered road speeds reaching up to 40 miles an hour, a jaw-dropping figure when most tractors could barely crawl along at single-digit speeds. This speed meant farmers could drive into town after a day in the field without having to switch vehicles. Talk about convenience. The idea was to blend the functionality of a farm tractor with the convenience of a truck, an attractive concept for those wanting to maximize their investment. Yet, for all of its innovation, the UDLX was pretty expensive, and the high price tag limited production to somewhere just around 150 units, making it exceedingly rare. Many farmers simply couldn't justify the cost when times were tough, so the model never saw widespread adoption. Still, its cultural impact was enormous. It proved that creature comforts could find a place in agricultural equipment. That mindset, focused on operator well-being, is something that we now kind of take for granted in modern tractors. If you happen to catch a UDLX at a show, you'll see onlookers marveling at a piece of what-if history that continues to fascinate collectors and farm historians alike. Number 4, the Allis-Chalmers WD-45. Now, by the time the Allis-Chalmers WD-45 rolled out in 1953, the company was already well known for its pioneering spirit in farm equipment. The WD-45 built on the success of earlier Allis-Chalmers models, but added more horsepower and a smoother transmission. One standout feature was its power shift rear wheels, which let operators adjust wheel spacing without the need for cumbersome jacks or extra equipment. Now, that might sound minor, but for row crop farmers, being able to adjust wheel width on the fly was a big deal when shifting between different row spacings. Now, under the hood, the WD-45 typically packed about 30 horsepower at the drawbar and over 40 on the belt. That power, combined with a responsive hand clutch, made it more versatile than many competitors, whether you were pulling a plow or running a stationary threshing machine. Plus, its sleek design and vibrant orange paint gave it a standout look. Now, that being said, Allis-Chalmers really leaned into that color choice to differentiate themselves from other tractor brands. And it worked. Even today, Allis Orange is instantly recognizable to antique tractor fans. Culturally, the WD-45 contributed to the era's push for greater productivity. The post-war years saw a boom in agriculture, and farmers needed reliable, powerful machines that could handle increased acreage and heavier implements. Allis-Chalmers answered that call in style. The WD-45's influence lingered long after production ended in 1957, showing up on thousands of farms and ultimately shaping the design of future Allis-Chalmers models. Talk to anyone who owned one and you'll sense the pride that they felt in a tractor that combined brute strength with smart features, attributes that still resonate when you watch these classics in action at a tractor pull or local fair. Number 3, the Oliver 70. Oliver might not be the first name that jumps to mind these days, but back in the early to mid-1900s, it was a formidable player. One of its more celebrated machines was the Oliver 70, introduced in 1935. From the moment you put eyes on it, you can see why it stood out. That streamlined Art Deco-style design was unlike anything else in farm equipment at the time. It may sound odd to praise a tractor's looks, but design mattered, especially as manufacturers competed for farmers' attention in magazines and trade shows. Now, beyond aesthetics, the Oliver 70 offered a good balance of power and versatility. Early models ran on gasoline, but soon Oliver expanded options to include kerosene and distillate versions. The horsepower hovered in the 20 to 30 range, which put it in the sweet spot for general farm work. Its relatively lightweight construction also meant that it was nimbler than some older behemoths, making it easier to navigate row crops and smaller fields. What really endeared the Oliver 70 to owners was its reliability. Thanks to the company's robust engineering, the tractor was famously durable, standing up to the daily grind of plowing, hauling, and cultivating. It also introduced farmers to features like electric starters and lights, which gradually became standard across the industry. Though production of the 70 series ended in 1948, its impact lived on through subsequent Oliver models. Even today at antique machinery events, a pristine Oliver 70 can steal the show, reminding us of a time when tractor companies weren't afraid to blend function with a touch of flair. Number 2, the J.I. Case Model L. For fans of raw, unbridled power, the J.I. Case Model L delivered in spades. Introduced in 1929, the L Series quickly gained a reputation for heavy-duty pulling capacity. Just the ticket when you had vast fields to plow or industrial tasks like road building. Sporting a sturdy 4-cylinder engine, it produced around 35 horsepower at the drawbar and approximately 40 on the belt. Now, that may not sound earth-shattering today, but in the late 20s, it was enough grunt to handle some tough jobs on the farm. Now, Case had long been a respected name, initially in threshing machines and steam tractors, so the Model L continued that legacy by focusing on practicality and performance. The big steel wheels of the early versions occasionally gave way to rubber tires in later years, reflecting the industry-wide move toward more comfortable and efficient solutions. Meanwhile, the tractor's robust frame and no-nonsense design earned it a loyal following among large-scale farmers who needed reliability above all else. From a cultural standpoint, the Model L arrived at a challenging time. the Great Depression. Now, despite the economic hardships, many farmers who could afford a new tractor chose the L for its proven ability to do more work with less downtime. Over its production run, thousands were sold, and that unwavering reliability helped bolster the Case's brand standing as a go-to solution for serious farming. These machines went on to serve well into the 40s, and any you find today still carry a sense of pride and nostalgia. A reminder that even in tough times, solid engineering can still prevail. Number 1, the Big Bud 747. If you ever laid eyes on the Big Bud 747, you know it's in a league of its own. Built in 1977 by Northern Manufacturing in Havre, Montana, this behemoth is widely recognized as the largest farm tractor in the world. We're talking a massive machine that initially boasted about 760 horsepower, courtesy of a Detroit diesel engine. Weighing over 100,000 pounds when fully ballasted, it was capable of pulling colossal implements across thousands of acres, making it the ultimate symbol of large-scale American farming. The Big Bud 747 didn't see the kind of commercial production numbers that smaller tractors did. This was a one-off custom build aimed at breaking barriers and showing just how far horsepower could go. It sports dual wheels on each corner for a total of 8 wheels, ensuring immense traction even in challenging soil conditions. The cabin, while not exactly plush, is surprisingly spacious, offering a nod to comfort for those marathon field sessions. Culturally, the 747 is a curiosity and spectacle. You can find it showcased at museums and at special events, where onlookers marvel at its sheer size. This giant encapsulates the spirit of America's agricultural go big or go home mentality, especially relevant in the second half of the 1900s when farms were consolidating and seeking even more powerful equipment. Jokes aside, calling it overkill hardly captures its sense of awe that it inspires. For many enthusiasts, the Big Bud 747 stands out as a triumphant demonstration of American engineering prowess, reminding us that even in an era of computerized systems and global competition, there's something downright inspiring about raw, unfiltered mechanical muscle. We hope you found the video helpful, and we hope it stirred a few memories of old barn finds and harvest time tales. Each of these tractors played a part in shaping modern farming, from humble horsepower gains to revolutionary designs that still influence today's machines. Let's keep these stories alive by sharing them with friends, family, and anyone who appreciates a good bit of American ingenuity. In reality, it's the legacy of these rare workhorses that reminds us just how far we've come. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel and join us for more deep dives into American farming's greatest hits.